What is up, everybody? This is Kevin David Rail, also known as Killer K Rail, reporting live. And I have some things I want to get off my chest today. Before I do, we're going to do a movement break like normal because it's middle of the afternoon. And I know you've been sitting for a long period of time and you might have been behind the wheel of a car. I was actually standing for a while at my stand-up desk, which is not pictured right now, which I highly suggest you get a stand-up desk. But before we get any further, I want to talk about function trumping beefcake. When I talk about that, I'll get more in the minutia in a minute. But we focus too much of our attention on trying to become this big beefcake. And we do all kinds of beefcake exercises and workouts in the gym and try to become bigger and bigger and stronger and all these things. And I do not downgrade the importance of muscle mass, especially as you age. But you should be focusing on other things. I'm going to tell you an interesting story that happened this past week when I encountered my friend Debbie, who was also a client of mine in the past, and I haven't seen in a while. And I want to talk to you about what happened to her and why you should focus on function outside the gym more than you should be worried about bench pressing and deadlifting your body weight or 1.5 times your body weight and bragging about it all over social media and saying, look at me, look at me. I'm going to get to that in a second. And I also want to talk about what I feel is the real problem with the diet these days and nutrition. And it is not what you think. You're always being told and you're always having things shoved down your face and everything else. But again, before we do, we got to do a movement break. I'm going to go back there. And hopefully I can remain in frame while I do this. And you're going to join me in this movement break. I'm going to crawl back here. I got to be all the way back here to show it to you. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come into a downward facing dog position like so. We're going to step our right foot out to the outside of our leg like this. And we're going to do a push-up from this position inside our leg. Then we're going to push up. And as we push up, we're straightening this leg right here. See that? That's wonderful. Then we're going to bring this foot back. We're going to go back into our downward facing dog. Then we're going to step to the other side and do the same thing. We're going to do a push-up, straighten. So as soon as your arms are pushing up, you're doing the same with your legs. So you're going to look straight ahead, lower yourself down, straighten it all. Arms and leg. Come back up, switch sides. Come down, straighten, push back, kick this leg back. So do about, I would say, 4 to 5 reps per side in the middle of the afternoon when you're in need of a movement break. Come down, straighten, kick back. Whew, that felt terrific. Feel those particles of positive chi kicking in? Okay, I'm out of breath. I just burned about 10 calories. Okay, let's go back to my story. So I saw my friend Deb at the gym 2 days ago. Early in the morning, right in the middle of my workout, she comes walking in. She likes to come in early in the morning, 5, 6 a.m., swim outside in our heated pool, and then sometimes she'll do some auxiliary work in the gym. And I train her maybe once a month or once every 2 months. I set her up with a program. She goes off, does her thing, and comes back and reports back to me and tells me how she's doing. Well, she was walking down the sidewalk the one day, I think it was a week ago. She might have been going outside to swim or something like that. And there was a piece of sidewalk that was upheaved like this, cement. And she was walking this way, and sure enough, she tripped on it, and she went forward. And she said, do you think I need to do more upper body strength training? Do I need to start doing heavy bench presses and heavy this and heavy that? And I said, Debbie, you're standing right in front of me talking. You walked away without a broken bone. You walked away without a scratch on your body. You stopped yourself when you fell. I said, so guess what? You succeeded. You won. That is the key, folks. She prevented a massive injury because she has been strength training, because she has been swimming, because she has trained with me, and I taught her some three-dimensional movement patterns and trained her in a way that her core was going to be strong. She was able to land in a position that saved her, maybe not saved her life, but saved her from massive injuries, broken noses, broken bones in the face, arms, wrists, name it. So the importance of strength training is there, yes. But when you're in the gym, actually forget about the gym. When you're just in this thing called life every day, you should be focused on what can I do to prevent injuries outside the gym? What can I do to excel outside the gym? What can I do to improve my posture and my flexibility, which I just showed you, and my upper body strength and my full body strength outside the gym? What can I do to improve my performance with cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, snowboarding, skiing, summer sports, climbing, mountain climbing, swimming, biking, hiking, pickleball, lacrosse, highlight? I don't care what the sport is. What can I do to improve all of those things outside the gym instead of thinking to myself, I want to lift the most weight in the gym and I want to be the coolest cat in the world and show videos of myself lifting 350 pounds off the ground in a deadlift with a barbell. That stuff is all ego, my friend. Drop the ego already. That is so passé. It's so old school to me. It's not even funny. You should be focusing on how can you become a superhuman being? How can you help your Aunt Mildred carry her groceries from the store to her trunk and teach her to do the same thing without getting injured, without getting hurt, and doing it with tact and finesse? You should be focusing all of your attention on that when it comes to your workouts, especially when you get up in age, above 40 years old, above 50 years old, and so on. That should be your main primary focus. That rant is over and done. Now I want to talk about the frequency of feeding. And to me, the real problem in this world, get up really close to the screen so you can hear me here. I'm going to do the same. Guess what? Sugar is not the problem. Seed oils are not the problem. It's laughable at this point. Prioritizing protein. Make sure to get 2 to 3 grams of protein per pound of body weight a day. Or else guess what? You're going to disintegrate. You're going to turn into nothing. A pile of mush. Your muscles are going to liquefy and you're going to be extinct. Well, guess what? All 100% fluff. All of that is. The key things in life when it comes to your diet is do not eat too often. Do not eat sugar all day long. Do not drink coffee all day long. Do not eat bowls of ice cream and cereal while you're sitting in bed, cereal watching Landman. You can cereal watch Landman because it's a great show. Just don't eat ice cream and cereal while you're doing it. The problem, my friends, is the overconsumption of food in a constant time frame all day long. It's getting up in the morning and starting to eat, and then it's eating every 2 and 3 hours throughout the course of the day. That is the problem. It's not the seed oils, it's not the sugar, it's not the oatmeal, it's not the bananas, it's not the carrots, it's not the beans, it's not the oxalates. It's none of that stuff. It's not lactose. You can have dairy, sure. I had cottage cheese today to break my fast. Organic cottage cheese, and I made this big blend. Maybe if you saw my story this past week, you would see something similar to that I made. It was like a smoothie bowl with cottage cheese and ground up baby spinach, asparagus, kale, yes, dreaded kale. Oxalates, oh no, I'm going to eat kale once a week, and guess what's going to happen? Oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm going to get toxic. No, you're not going to get toxic. If you have been told by a doctor, by a clinician, that you have an issue with oxalates and your kidneys and your body cannot break them down and digest them, guess what? Don't eat kale. But in the big picture, don't be afraid to eat these things and eat these foods. When did healthy food become unhealthy all of a sudden? It drives me crazy. It's all I see. Prioritize protein. That's the big thing. Stay away from kale. Stay away from beans. Don't eat oatmeal. Oatmeal is a carcinogen now. Oh my God, it's going to kill you. You can't have this and you can't have that. You can. You can have all these things and you can enjoy them too. Just don't eat them so often and so much. Don't eat 6 times a day or 8 times a day. Eat 2 times a day maximum. This is my personal opinion right here. This is what I do. And then 2 or 3 days a week, eat 1 meal a day. Yes, just once. And then make a huge salad and put whatever the heck you want in there. Dude, if you have sugar once a day, even twice a day, and it's spaced apart in a wide time frame between the 2 times you have it. Say you have something with sugar at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and then you have it again at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you have no food in between there, and that's it. You're done eating by 5 or 6, and then you have a big 16 to 17 hour window of fasting in between there. Your body is going to have plenty of time to digest that food, process that food, detox that food, get it out of your system. And nothing is going to happen. There's going to be no repercussions. The problem is we listen to people too much and too often about all these things that they want us to believe are completely unhealthy and going to kill us and put us in the grave and cause inflammation and brain damage and all these other things. The biggest problem, in my opinion, folks, is frequency of feeding. Eating all day long, every 2 or 3 hours. I was one of those people years ago, 20 some years ago, 6 meals a day, gallon of water a day, because I listened to all the experts and the pastime, I guess you would call them influencers now, that they just constantly throw this stuff around. And you start thinking about stuff like that, it's going to cause spikes in your cortisol level. It's going to cause your stress levels to go up. That's way worse for your body than having a little bit of sugar here and there. And let's talk about the form that it's in as well. Try to always go as local and as clean and as close to Mother Nature as possible and as organic as possible. And there's a lot of fearmongers out there saying organic is not better than conventional and blah, 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 blah. And they chat in my ear all the time about it. And you know what? It's a belief system. And if you think that's the case, then you're probably going to be right. And you're going to cause emotional distraught in your head and in your body. It's going to translate from an emotion to a physical situation in your body too. And you don't want that to happen. When you have long chronic back pain in your knee or your elbow or your back or some along those lines, it's usually attached to an emotional connection. Figure out what that emotional connection is and get rid of it. And when you get all stressed and all geeked out over food too much and too often, that can have a negative impact on your body from a stress standpoint, not necessarily the food itself. The bottom line is try to eat infrequently, eat as clean and healthy as you can, eat as all natural as you can. And if you're going to have sugar, make sure it's like organic cane sugar or some kind of form that's clean and better than the average white table sugar, that it has emulsifiers and char in it and all this kind of garbage. That is the correct way to attack your diet. Think of it and have a positive relationship with food. Don't be so scared about everything that you see all the time. And that is the big problem with social media these days, is that everything just gets blown so far out of proportion, and people are sharing videos and they're sitting there adding their 2 cents in and everything else. And then you have the people that literally just eat steak and heart and organs of meat of animals for days in a row, for months in a row. And sometimes they eat just once a day, and they say that's the only way to eat. Vegetables are poison, stay away from them. Yeah, literally. Don't eat vegetables at all. Carnivore diet. And I'm not saying good, bad, or ugly here. I'm just telling you how people think. And then you've got plant-based vegan people. Meat is the devil. Meat is horrible. Meat is terrible. The body's not designed to break it down. Then you got the people that are somewhere in the middle. You have the lacto-ovo-vegetarians. You have the regular lacto-vegetarians. You got the pescatarians. You've got everything in between. You know what? I love everybody equally. I really don't care what you eat, as long as you abide by the rules. Don't eat all day long. It's that simple. That is my 2 cents for you. You can apply that knowledge to plant-based diet or carnivore diet or lacto-ovo-vegetarian or pescatarian or the snow diet if you just eat snow all day long. I don't really care. Just don't eat yellow snow. That's kind of gross. But otherwise, just don't eat as frequently. That's the point I want to make. So the bottom line for today is this. Work on function, work on balance, and work on flexibility and being a superhuman outside the gym. And that's where your efforts should be paid inside the gym, especially if you're 40 plus. Even if you're in your 20s or something, unless you're playing pro football, I don't see any point in trying to lift all that heavy weight off the ground anyway. You're just going to grind your joints to a pulp when you get older. Think in terms of, what can I do for longevity? What can I do to reverse the aging process? What can I do to be happy and healthy and promote other people to be healthy and happy and inspire them as well? Always think in those terms. And as far as your diet goes, keep it as close to Mother Nature as you want, as you can, and choose any diet plan you want that works best for you based on your concerns, your religious beliefs, and whatever your body can tolerate or not tolerate. And then just go infrequent with your feedings. Okay? Pretty much simple. That's basic. That's grade 2 mentality right there. This is Kevin David Rail reporting live. Make sure to share and like this video. Follow me around town if you can, and on social media as well. And let me know if you have any questions or comments, and if you have any other subject matter you'd like me to target. And if someone's like being a bully or a troll on you, I don't even want to get into the trolls and bullies, man. That's all I've had this week is trolls and bullies. And I'm just waiting for them to crop up on here. I'm surprised they haven't popped up yet. I'm sure they will soon. Anyway, hit me up if you have any questions or comments, need any more motivation or inspiration, and I'll see you in the next one. Till next time.